What's going on, NBA 2K fans? It's Pete Toll here, aka PT Sports 84, back with another video. This time I am showcasing my own personal roster. A lot of people have asked me, when is a roster coming that includes the G League, the current rosters, the historic rosters, all time rosters, and even FIBA rosters? Well, you asked for it, and here it is. It's still in working stages, so I'm still having to do some edits to it. But with the holiday seasons coming up, I've got a little bit busier schedule, so I want to go ahead and get something out this week, so that way you guys can start enjoying it. Use it as your own if you want to, whatever the case may be. First and foremost, I want to dive in and say that it's been a long process with the roster, just trying to figure out, navigate some things as far as 2K's changes via patches, things like that. Also, I want to thank a lot of creators. I'm going to put them in the description once I make the video. If I forgot anybody, please let me know because I don't want to leave anybody out with anything. But just long story short, like Richie 2K for his cap creations, XV Clutch for his draft class creations for some of the retro guys. We've got the Attention to Detail crew, all the guys that worked on the G League for a lot of their edits. There's just a ton of guys. Hoodie, Pop 22, just for a lot of his stuff throughout, whether it was taking some of the tendency stuff or just different things for some players. Just a lot of people. Ballhope for his FIBA work. We had previously discussed in a prior roster, and so I added it in here. Just a lot of community feedback overall for everything. Of course, with the historic rosters, I can't forget Chevrolet 98. He put in a lot of work on the historic missing players, things like that. MJWizards, of course, for his work on the historic rosters as well. All time stuff fit in there from various creators as well. So just want to make sure I give a shout out to everybody there as well. But let's dive into the roster. So we've got the current team rosters. I try to get them up to speed. I'm still working on tendency edits. I left the default ratings because I know a lot of people get controversial as far as ratings and badges for the current teams. So I left them as default. All I did was update appearances for players that I could. I did touch tendencies. I didn't do the shot and touch tendencies because right in the middle of editing, 2K came out and made their own changes. So um, I tried to get those in line with what they had in the latest update. So I went ahead and changed the default update I was using into the new one. I did do my own scaling of the shot mid range. So far, that's what I've gotten in. The spot up mid range is taken down for a lot of players. You'll see a lot of gameplay change with that. You won't have guys spotting up inside the 3-point line with that. I've still got a long way to go with the tendencies. I want to use the holiday break as time to get those right, as I'll have more time kind of to edit the week after Christmas. The tail end of the week of Christmas and the week after. So I just want to get those correct. I did start working on roll versus pop and spot up versus cut. Those are very important to me as far as getting those right. Next up, I'll touch on the attack strong versus the dish, and then clean up various edits beyond that. But for now, there are some tendency tweaks. For the most part, for the current rosters, we've got the current players that have caps. They've all been re-edited thanks to my edits as well as a lot of the communities. So you'll see guys just throughout, touched up there with edited faces. For those that were locked, like Terry Taylor, Amarui, um, for the Raptors 905. Like guys like that that were locked previously, they are now unlocked with edited appearances. It keeps their stats and things like that. So got all that fixed. I did edit positions for players. Like you'll see what should be corrected. Like Yabusele should be back at power forward, Paul George at the 2, Oubre at the 3, just for an example for the Sixers. So that's the current rosters. I've got updated injuries. I tried to do the best I could. As of this morning, 2K added in Javonte McCoy. I went ahead and edited him. I edited his appearance, his accessories, and his attributes. 2K unfortunately put in his college as Nevada. It's Boston University. So I fixed that as well. But I edited his appearance, his accessories, his ratings. So those are now correct. We've got the trades for Schroeder, like to Golden State. I went ahead and put Ben Simmons at the point guard because that's what's going to happen. Beekman is there, of course. Actually, have to adjust Beekman's number in the next update. I already went ahead and uploaded the file, so I don't want to make the change again. But we've got Schroeder here at point guard. I'm going to leave him there at point guard just because don't know what he's going to play moving forward. Steve Kerr said it's going to be a couple different positions, kind of like he did with Melton. So we'll see. Let's move on to the historic rosters. So there are some changes to the default historic rosters I'm going to show you as we go through, but let me tab those. So we got all the missing players for rosters. We then went through. I fixed the head coaches for the historic and the all-time teams and the G League. You'll see them as I go through. I'll touch on each one of them. But we have those as well. I changed the 70-71 Lakers to the 71-72 Lakers. I, of course, have Bill Sharman as the head coach for them. Changed the Knicks from 71-72 to 72-73. Red Holzman there as the coach. I did the best I could with coach appearances. They're not going to be great. Please don't ding me for that, just because there's not a real ability to go too far with coach appearances. Changed the 76-77 Sixers to the 84-85 Sixers. And I did that because this team was already in 2K previously, and they match up with the Milwaukee Bucks of 84-85. So that's why I made the change. The 76-77 team would have matched up if they could have got the Portland team from that era in as well, but they haven't. So that's the change. But yeah, we have all the coaches, all the missing players throughout as well. I did the best I could with Pat Riley, Chuck Daly, like those guys as well. I did make changes here to the Atlanta Hawks. It was a better team in 86-87, so I changed them from 85-86 to 86-87. That way there's a matchup for the Lakers there as well. I changed the Cavaliers from 89-90 to 88-89. This was the far better team. Obviously, Ron Harper on the team was the big difference maker there. So let's see. Moving forward, I also changed the Spurs to the 98-99 Spurs. So they match up with their finals opponent, the 98-99 Knicks. Like I said, all of the missing players in for teams. So then we go over through to the Clippers. Now, I changed the 13-14 Clippers to 14-15 just to have something a little bit different. Wanted to kind of have my roster stand out from someone else's, just because someone like MJWizards, for example, he's putting together his own roster. It's obviously he does great work, so he'll have the 13-14 roster if you really want to go get that one. That's why I wanted to do something a little different here. I also changed the 16-17 Warriors to 17-18, since we do have the Steph Curry era available already. So just as well as an example, just making sure I'm thorough with rosters. So you have various rosters like Chris Boucher is there, or players on the roster. Chris Boucher on the two-way there as well, and then like Jordan Lloyd here on the two-way as well. Let's jump over to the all-time teams. So I mentioned I did the all-time team coaches. I also changed the all-time team staff. So if you go to the staff menu, I did 3 coaches for each team, top 3 for each franchise. So basically, who the best coaches I thought were, whether it was winning percentages or titles, whatever the case is. Like the Hawks, for example, I'll show you in just a second. Probably a differing opinion of what many would go with. But going back to the actual roster, we've got guys like Charles Barkley, Red Kerr, Andre Iguodala, Chet Walker, Andrew Toney, filling out these rosters the best I can with a lot of guys that really should be on rosters if they could ever get the rights to them. So added Donovan Mitchell here just because I think he'll go down as one of the better Cavs over time. Bill Russell and Sam Jones to Boston. Did Randy Smith here for the Clippers. Various teams. But jumping over to the Hawks, for example, Alex Hannum won a title with the St. Louis Hawks, the only title in franchise history for them. So I made him the head coach. Obviously, did a custom look here. You can change it if you want to. It's open. What I did is I opened up the appearances of coaches that did not have a real face. Like, obviously, that looks nothing like Red Auerbach, but someone else might be able to go in and fix it and make it look a lot better. I'm not that great with the cap creator, so unfortunately, that's what you get at the default. But went ahead and changed pretty much every team throughout, just making sure there was a good balanced representation of each team for the all-time teams. So there's that. We then get over to the G League. All the G League rosters are up to date as of December 16th, as of 9:15 a.m. The G League website updates transactions, so I went ahead and fixed all of those. Got those updated for teams overall. Like I said, a lot of the work comes from the attention to detail guys. So thank you to them for all of their hard work. They basically got all the missing players in. All I did was go in and get them, updated some appearances a little bit, added some photos for ones that were missing it, changed some vitals here and there for those that needed it. But I did add head coaches in for all of the um, G League teams as well. So all of them are updated throughout. So you'll see, like if they were in the NBA before and they have a photo, it's added to the roster. As of this morning, Moses Brown was added back to the Westchester Knicks, so made sure to get that in as well. So Javante McCoy getting called up. They haven't filled in his spot yet. So um, also for the Nets, AJ Lawson, they haven't filled his spot in either, as you can see there for Long Island. But Motor City Cruise, like I said, Javante McCoy is not there, so had to fill that in. I don't know who the Raptors 905 are cutting yet to make room for Frank Kaminsky, but I did add Kaminsky there. Moving over, I edited the appearance for NBA players that are missing, like that have caps and needed better appearances. Um, Moving through, also added the Mexico City Capitanes, Trey Burke. Hopefully he gets a call up at some point this year. He deserves it. But got all of them, got their coach in as well. Got the uniforms, everything like that. So that's that. You can always find the players if you want to change up the all-time teams and make it your own. All I did was delete the players, so they're in there if you want them. Also, for the free agent pool, I cleaned it out for the most part. So you'll see I have updated appearances, but you'll see only really key free agents. Everybody else I kind of dropped that I don't think will make it back to the NBA. Going back to the current rosters really quickly. So, Charlotte Hornets head coach Charles Lee had a face that didn't look anything like him. So, thanks to Richie 2K, I edited Charles Lee for a better representation. I also used Jordy Fernandez that he has on his YouTube channel. Make sure you go subscribe to his channel. And then I actually left. He had Brian Keefe. I left Brian Keefe as is for now, just because I want to get a little bit better edit for him. But looking through teams as well, I'll show you really quickly. I edited some team staffs as well. So, um, a couple teams have some new edits. Like I added Brent Berry to the Suns. Um, I added Vin Bavmani to the Raptors to take the place of Drew Jones, who's now their G League coach. And don't pay attention to what the um, what the positions are, just because the way the 2K has it this year, the positions are symbolized where they sit on the bench. Like it basically determines where they are on the bench. And so, in order to get them correctly on the bench, you kind of have to maneuver some different things. So, trying to get them corrected and edited so that way they show on the bench correctly. But I moved Steve Hetzel to assistant coach because that's what he is or lead assistant, I should say, because that's what he is. Rick Brunson, the lead assistant for the Knicks. Um, Scott Morrison, lead assistant for the Jazz. So just kind of change some things up so that way it's correct. I took out Steve Cly because he's the G League College Park coach, and I added in Ekpe Udo so that way that's better represented. Thomas Lasallo is the lead assistant for the Grizzlies, so I have him in as well. Jeff Van Gundy added as the lead assistant for the Clippers. And then I think that's it, except for Brian Gates getting added in place of Fabulous Flournoy for the Sixers. So a lot of good overall edits to the roster. So that's the roster there. Um, let me just have the computer build it. Exit without saving. And so you can actually find the roster if you go to my files. You can see it here. I've already uploaded it. PT Sports Ultimate 2K version 1.0. So you can find that there. I wanted to show something else because a lot of people have asked about this. So going to Quick Play, loading my roster in, pulling it up. You can pull it up same way as you go through. So FIBA teams are all unlocked. We have Team USA, Spain, and these have the correct rosters. I went through and edited the rosters thanks to Ballhope for his work. I also filled in the much asked about Philippines team. I did the best I could. May not be accurate all the way, so don't kill me on it, but I did the best I could to get the Philippines roster as close as I could. We got France there, obviously, and then I did the Dream Team. Now, one note, for whatever reason, 2K changed the uniform string, and so it's difficult to figure out how to get the Dream Team 92 uniforms on the team. If anybody can figure it out, let me know in the comments in order to get it to show up correctly. I can't get it to show. So this is the jerseys we get, but it is the Dream Team 92 there. Of course, going through, you've got all of the other teams unlocked that are available in the roster. You've, of course, got the current teams as well, classic teams, all-time teams edited. So I did not unlock the G League. I'm still trying to figure out how to get that for Play Now. I'm going to basically switch them all to normal teams, and so that way at the end of the normal team screen, you'll see it. I'll put a separate roster file for that. It'll be basically NBA G League Unlocked in Play Now. That'll be the title of it. I should get to that by tomorrow, hopefully. We should have another ratings update this week on Thursday. When we do that, I'll hopefully be able to add those changes into this roster as far as the ratings changes, so that way it's up to date with the new ratings for players, attributes only. I'm not changing the intangibles or anything like that. So we'll see. But if you've liked this video, make sure you're downloading the roster. Make sure you like the video, thumbs up on the video, share this video. Um, it really, really helps if you share it across social media platforms. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I keep you up to date with all the latest NBA 2K info. If you like what you see, make sure to tell a few friends as well about the channel. That way they can subscribe as well. Hope everybody has a great rest of your week. I should be back on Thursday with an overview, full review of the ratings update. And so I will see you then. Hope everybody stays safe and take care.